So we're looking 30 to 80 yards. And if I'm honest, when I was an amateur golfer before I started to coach, I was pretty clueless of what I should do differently to a full swing. Now, when I watch players on the golf course, that's what it looks like they are also. And when people come to coaching and ask me a question about a 30 to 80 or 100 yard shot, again, they play it pretty much exactly like they're playing a full shot. That's not really what we should be doing. Let's show you. So we've got a 45 yard shot here, but it doesn't really matter what range it is. What I want to talk you through is basically the changes you're going to make to a full swing and the changes you're going to make as you get further away from the hole. So initially what we're looking at is basically to hit a shorter shot, hit it soft in the full shot. We want to take a narrower stance. So this stance wants to be about 2 club hits wide, 2 club head widths wide. And that wants to stay the same up until we get to almost our full swing. So this is a 54-degree wedge I have here. Full swing with that would go for me about 100 yards. So basically 90 yards in, I would have a narrower stance. I am going to put my pressure on my lead foot. These two things will slightly shorten my swing arc without me trying to shorten my swing arc. Then what I'm going to do as I get closer to the hole is shorten the swing arc even more. I am then going to basically have swing length. So shoulder height swing, chest high swing, rib high swing, hip high swing, thigh high swing, and knee high swing to go different distances. And ideally I'll have that all calibrated down with 2 or 3 wedges so I know how far to hit with different clubs. In terms of technique, there's 2 things I want you to change. From short range shots, we're going to have what I call a soft trail arm. For longer range shots, we're going to have a more structured trail arm. And then when we get with all these wedges, we're going to look basically for the underarm throw release. If I get a ball here and try and throw it underarm, my palm faces up to the sky. That is the underarm throw release. So with a golf club in the hand, underarm throw release. A normal swing, the thumbs will be working over here, and that's very much a released onto the plane release. So we're trying basically to hold the club off in terms of the sexy words people try and use. So this one, the 45 yards, let's say that's going to be somewhere around about rib high, and it's where I feel it is, not what it is, and I'm going to have that hold off release. Good contact, just pulled it a wee bit, and it's probably a tad too far. But that's kind of what I'd be looking to do. Now, let's talk soft arm. So when we get closer to the hole, I would want this arm to feel like it bends a little bit more and gets what I feel a bit softer in tension. And the right arm stays close to the right side of the rib cage here. So it feels kind of soft. Arms kind of spread a bit more like T-Rex, short arm swings. Now when we get further away from the hole, we are going to look for a longer right arm, a more structured right arm. And this naturally happens. As you start to put more power in, the trail arm will become more structured. But certainly for the short ones, I would like you to think, okay, can I get this right arm nice and soft and unstructured? Now that one won't go the full distance, because when you get to a certain distance, as I said, we need a bit more structure and speed in it to get that power. So we're looking for the same stance, the same kind of pivot. There is weight shift, there is a turn, less than the full swing. Having the narrow stance and the weight on pressure on the lead foot naturally makes this happen. The conscious things you're going to have to do is the release, the swing length, and when you get close to the hole for those soft little pitches, that soft trail arm. Dial into how far you need to swing with each club. Try and keep the tempo, what you feel, and the rhythm, what you feel is the same, because that's going to ensure you deliver the right kind of speed relevant to the added length of swing. There obviously is a natural increase in speed as the swing gets longer. It's not a conscious one. Again, if you find your distances don't jump around loads or basically bunch too much, then you might have to check out what your kind of tempo is doing. And you might well even video yourself, and you might find your swing lengths don't change much even though you feel they are. Ideally, we need it to be a feel, because we need to be able to repeat it on the course. We can't measure it, we can't video it on the course, we can't get our mate to say, yeah, you swung too far, too short. We've got to try and have something we can take to the course. So swing lengths with the correct release is what I do. The routine I would advise on the course, and we'll try and play this one for the 45-yard shot, I would want you to stand behind the ball, do a one-handed practice swing with your right hand, your trail hand. Feel that underarm throw. Pick a spot to aim at. Make sure you've got in your head the distance you're trying to hit it. And then go ahead and swing and hit the shot the correct distance. I'd want that to be your routine every time you get to a pitch shot. So for the 80-yard shot, I'm using my 54-degree wedge. This is going to be a kind of chest-high swing, and the right arm is going to be a little bit more structured, if you like, compared to the shorter one which we've gone through. Still having the narrow stance and the weight forward. And they're pretty good for distance. Just turned it over a tiny bit. And we're also looking for the distance we worked out in what we would call a net distance, adding in elevation, the wind, the run out, all those things into the consideration.